Back. Fortunately, there is no activity on the sun. It's nice and quiet, so there's really nothing to report. So there's no solar report tonight, thankfully, because I do not want to see that big object come from the side of the sun. So let's move on to the spiritual realm. It has now moved into the clouds, and now I have faces in the clouds that follow me everywhere I go. One day I went into the store and the sky was looking weird, so I started taking a couple of pictures here. This is what it looked like when I before I went into the store, and when I came out of the store, there was this giant Grinch face sitting in the sky. If you can't see it, here's his eye, his other eye, here's his nose right here with the little nostrils. He's got that short stubby nose with the nostrils you can see up. Here's his little smirk. He's got the puffy cheeks like this. So this face right here is the Grinch. And I took a ton of pictures of this. So we're going to start scrolling down. And you can see it here. And right here, it starts to become more and more defined, more and more clear. Okay. So as we scroll down, it's getting, more and more defined here. Then, as we keep going, you'll see that the Grinch starts to grow horns here. You can see in some of these pictures here, I'll go down another row. There we go. You can see here that the Grinch's face now, you can make out his puffy cheeks now and his nose a little better, but now he's starting to grow horns. So we got the Grinch growing horns, and if you look at this last image right here, it's starting to turn into a dragon face. And if we scroll down one more here, you can see over here it's turned into a dragon. This one's a little bit bigger, it's hard to see, but it's the Grinch is now turned into a dragon face. And maybe I'll just try this real quick. Bring up this one a little bit better. This is probably the best image right here of the dragon face. So the Christmas season, the Grinch showed up and turned into a dragon. So you can see how I take a bunch of pictures like this, and what I do is I compress them down into the smaller frames like this, and then put them in a flip book. So now we're going to go to the flip books that I've made, and we're going to start going through some of these and pointing out faces. Actually, before we go to the flip books, I just saw something. I want to go to this little section right here. This is where we left off kind of yesterday with these faces right here. This is the unfiltered version of that demon face, okay? And then we left off with this face right here in the last video. And then we've also had this little goblin face show up too. And you can see how it's dropped down out of the clouds. And I'll even go zoom in on this goblin face a little bit here. Oh, I know what I can do on this program. Let me zoom back out. Move that out of the way. I just click on it here. Alright. And now you can see that this goblin face here has a big long nose. He has a mouth open with teeth. There's actually a row of teeth in there. Okay, pull this down a little bit. There we go. And you can actually see an eye with a pupil in it right here. Big long nose. He's got this mouth open with this, teeth in here, and you can make out his little beard, his little goatee coming off of it. So we back out. You can see this face, this goblin face, in the clouds, and it has dropped down from the level of the clouds. And we'll go a couple of pictures through this here. And yeah, you can see up here these big streaks. It's dropped way down out of the sky. This cloud was way up here with the rest of these clouds, and now it's dropped way down and turned into this goblin face. And we'll just zoom, because it's a face with, I mean, look at that row of teeth, how defined that is in the clouds. All right, big old long nose. You can make out the ears coming out here and over on that side. Oh, there's a big face right there. So now let's go back. So that was that series of faces. Here's another goblin face with an eye. Here's his eyebrows, his ridge. Here's his mouth and a little stubby nose. This almost reminds me of the character that was sitting on Jabba's lap. The little I don't know, like the little character that was chained to him or whatever that was sitting on Jabba's lap. And then I've made these into little flip books, okay? So I want you to see some of these images first before I show you the flip books. Something else I want to point out, well, right here, we're going to work on this one. This series of photos right here led to this image that we left off with last night, okay? So I want to show you that before that, it was actually a wolf face. And let's see if we can get that. Yeah, it's a little bit better. You can make out an eye here, an eye there. Here's the ear coming up, and the snout coming down. Here's the black nose on the end. The mouth is open, and he's huffing and puffing. It's the big bad wolf huffing and puffing in the sky. And there were like 4 frames of this. Yeah, 4 frames right there. And then it started to evolve and get clearer and clearer as the wolf. Let's see if this is capturing it very well. Pretty good, right about there. Then one more. Here's the wolf again, and then a few minutes later it changed into this face, okay? So I take a series of pictures and then I put them in a flip book. So there was the wolf and all these. So now we'll go back and we'll pick out my favorites here. So what I've done here, all right, here's the first one, this face right here, and maybe we will click on this because it's not, oops. Okay, pull back a little bit, it didn't look too focused. Anyways, you can see that this face has an eye, has a long nose again, the mouth down here, the chin, here's the jawbone coming up on the side. At the very top, when it starts, it looks to have 2 little horns coming off of it or something. Okay, so that's one of these weird faces with big long nose on it right here. Okay, and that's one of the flip books I did of this face. Now, over here, this one's really interesting. This is kind of how they form. So what I'm going to do is pop it up there. Let me get this adjusted just right for you guys because I want you to be able to see this one. Okay, you can see at the end we have this face forming right here. It's like the butterfly man. He has antennas coming up right here and right there. Here's his nose. And the clouds come together and gel together and make this face. And you can make out at the very end, this is his hand sticking out. Oh, it's not really. Nope, that's too bright. There we go. Now we're capturing it. Okay, so that's another one of these examples of these faces in the clouds that follow me everywhere I go, man. So back out of that one now, and this one's kind of fun. Let's see, we can get this one pulled up just right for you guys. Maybe come down. It's a little bright right there. Bear with me as I adjust this because it's all about the color and the tint and stuff. Okay, what we have going on here is some kind of like bird-like creature, and his eye is right here, and he's covering it up and then uncovering it. Peekaboo, I see you. So just watch that for a second. Hopefully you can see. This would be the top of it, like a bird's head. Here's his beak, some kind of creature with a beak or whatever, and he's taking his wing or whatever and covering his eyes right there. Uncovered, now it's covered. It's uncovered, covered. So watch that for a second. And it's like a peekaboo or something. He's watching me in the clouds saying, peekaboo, I see you. Yeah? So that one was another one of them there. Okay. Then we're going to go down to these ones here. I'm going to adjust the screen a tad bit better. Okay, so this is kind of weird. It's hard to describe, but it's like a cartoon character with big ears, like right here, and his other ear coming up here. He has 2 eyes right there, and his tongue sticking out. He has a big long nose that comes out, And over in this one is this face starting to form. You can see the big long nose. These are the frames before this. So here this face, this dark shadow of this cartoonish face with big long ears and big eyes and a big long nose starts to form in the sky. Then over here, as it progresses, you can see this face, this goofy face with the big eyes and the tongue sticking out. What's happening is there's like a mouse, like Tom and Jerry, Jerry the mouse, on top of this character's head, and he's pulling open his eyelids, and his eyelids are lighting up because he's being forced to see something. Okay, so let's try this one more time. I'll see if you guys can see this one, because I'm capturing all kinds of crazy scenes in the sky. Crazy scenes, crazy faces and stuff. Okay, that one's a little weird, but I had to show it to you because this is what I'm capturing. Whether it makes sense or not, I'm just going to bring it to you and show you what I'm capturing. And I believe this is like the awakening. It's a sign of the awakening. Sometimes people won't look or wake up, so you have to be forced. And this mouse is purposely lifting up this guy's eyelids to see. And when he sees, he's shocked and his tongue sticks out. I've seen this somewhere. This is like some kind of cartoon. If anybody recognizes this cartoon character or what's going on here, if you've ever seen this before somewhere, leave a comment in the comment section or whatever, because this reminds me of some kind of cartoon character or something. Okay, speaking of cartoon characters, now we're going to move on to one of the most interesting ones I've ever caught. Alright, so now let me pull this back down a little bit. Oh boy, we're going to make some adjustments here, folks. Bear with me. Okay. So, what's going on in this one? So this appears to be the Revelation 12 labor. The woman in labor. It's kind of cartoonish itself, but here's the lady laying on her back with her legs down, okay? Here's her head. She's like an alien creature, almost like an E.T. from the movie E.T. Here's her eye and her other eye and her mouth. And every time the sun comes out, like a labor pain, her eyes open up and her mouth opens up and she screams. There's some kind of midwife character right here. It looks like a character from the Rugrats with these pigtails or ponytails coming off over here. And that's about the best I can pull it down, but what I can do is we're going to zoom in on her face, and I want you to look how her face reacts to the sun coming out. She's giving birth to the sun. Her eyes right here in her mouth open up, and she's, ah, 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 ah. You see her screaming, ah. And then this is like the midwife or whatever that's helping her through labor. So I believe this is the Revelation, the labor pains, the little sign in the clouds that we're in the process of the labor pains. And how clever that she's giving birth to the sun. I mean, that was an incredible capture there. And like I said, I don't know how these cartoon character type, characters, I don't know what role they play in it, but this is how it's coming out, and this is what I'm capturing. So hopefully you can see that. Then I think, okay, here's that goblin one. Let's do this guy real quick. Okay. And like I said, this reminds me of the goblin from Jabba's temple or whatever. It's the little guy that sits on Jabba's lap. You can make out an eye right here. Here's the other eye. It's a little bit bigger. You can see it has a vertical slit in it. Okay. His nose droops and comes out and hangs over. You can see his mouth. He's kind of frowning a little bit. Okay, so, and he's like either lifting his eyebrows or frowning or something. But here's another one of these giant faces that I was talking about. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Here is the wolf progressing into that face. Okay, maybe we'll go and just tab it tighter for you guys. Come on, let me go in a little zoom. There we go. So these faces also morph and change into other faces as well. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right. And then here I tried to do one of the Grinch here. It didn't turn out as well, but you can see some of the Grinch faces and how it morphs and changes into something else. And then I got another special one that I'm going to save for another night. Let me pull back and see what else was it that I wanted to report on in here. I think that was it. Okay, so I'll save the other one for another night. But I just wanted to bring these guys to you and give you an example of some of these faces that I'm capturing. And I got so many pictures, my computer's jammed up, and I can't even access them anymore to process them and make more flip books. So in the meantime, I'm kind of just stuck with what I got. And where were we here? Let's go to this 720 event again, because I thought there was one more thing. Oh, here's the pictures of that birth event. One there, here, and here. Okay. And then that goofy face. Here's the series of pictures for that face with the eyes lifting. Okay. And I don't do anything. This isn't like computer generated. It's not CGI or anything like that. These are just a series of pictures. I keep taking another picture like every 10 seconds, and then when you line them all up and put them in a row, you can see how this started to form way back up here as this dark little face with the long nose, and it progresses into the face with the mouse on top right here. Okay. And you can see the eyes opening up in this one. So that was all a series of these pictures that I just put together. And then it progressed and turned into something else. Some little creature with like a beak or something. But it didn't really turn out that well. So I didn't do the rest of it. But I think that'll do it for tonight. I just wanted to bring you an example of some of these faces in the clouds that I've captured. And I've also done a series of shorts on my channel here. And if you go over to my channel and click on shorts, you can check out some of the faces in the clouds. I put some more examples of it up there on YouTube. So, well, it's not pulling up, and I think, oh, there it goes. I think that might be it for tonight anyways, because I just wanted to bring some of those faces to you in this segment for right now. So, yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to call it a quit. So, thank you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next video, bye.